Hello everybody! Today I am going to be showing you what is, in my opinion, the very best virtual tabletop for beginner GMs and for experienced GMs looking for a simple, streamlined experience. This program is actually what I use, so let's get into it. Now, there are some crazy powerful VTTs out there that let you do things like add animations, add animated battle maps, and more. But these VTTs often have very complicated interfaces that produce a steep learning curve. Personally, I am not looking for that. When I'm looking for a VTT, I'm looking for something that is simple, easy to pick up, and will let me get to running the game right away. For me, that application is Owlbear Rodeo. Today, I'm going to be giving you a quick tutorial on how to use it and showing you just how simple this application really can be. In order to illustrate just how easy this is to use, I am going to set up a game right now. So, as you can see, I've got my browser open, and I am just going to type in Owlbear Rodeo. Now, I'm going to open it up, and as you can see, dead simple. I'm just going to click Start Game. Not going to use a password, because generally don't need to bother, and just start. My interface looks exactly like yours will. So, yep, that's right. There is no login. You just get right into this interface right here. As you can see, it comes with a variety of pre-made tokens for all the character classes and for all the monster types, for quick and easy reference. And it comes with a few default maps, like grass. But what if you want to do your own maps? What if you want to do your own token? That is also very easy. So, let's say you want to run an encounter with kobolds in a cave. You can just open that right up with Owlbear Rodeo, and as you can see, right there is the map. And Owlbear Rodeo is actually very good in that it'll guess the scale of the map, which means that most likely, when you import it, it already has sorted out the grid and everything for you. Let's see how it did with this. So that is 10 feet. There you go. It did it automatically, correctly, first try. But let's say you want to adjust the size of the map, or let's say it got it wrong for whatever reason, which it does sometimes. So you can just go in here and change the number of rows and columns. So let's say I want this to be a really big cave. You can just, on 47, double the number of rows and columns, and select the map again, and boom, you've got a really, really big cave. You can drag your little tokens on there. So let's say you're not quite content with these default tokens. Maybe one of your players has art for their character, or you just want to make your enemies different looking. Though that's also very easy. The first thing you'll do is you can open up a token maker. There's a ton of these free on the internet. I personally quite like Token Stamp 2, so you can just type that in. Although it will be glitchy sometimes, but you can just open that right on up, and you can drop in any image. So let's say you want to use a kobold. You can find any picture that you want on Google, and then you can just simply drag it in here. So as you can see, you have your kobold, then you can drag the corners to get it exactly how you want it. Ta-da! It's a kobold token. Alright, so next thing you can do is you can just download that and drag it in. It is that simple. Now you can create your encounter. I'll drag on these to duplicate them, or simply drag them in from the left. And you pretty much have an encounter. You can do this with anything. You can get battle maps from anywhere, get any art. This is super customizable. It's great. But let's say you have a sorcerer, and this sorcerer casts a fireball. Luckily, this software makes adjudicating areas of effect really easy. You can use the measuring tool to measure how far away things are. You can use the paint tool to paint different shapes, and these are just all the general spell shapes that you'd get in D&D. So, you know, you've got your cone, you've got your sphere, you've got your cube, well, square, but you'd use it for cube areas of effect, and you can use that to pretty much just draw a bunch of stuff. And you can, of course, draw stuff like this with just a paint or a line. But let's say you have a dungeon like this, and you don't want your players to see the kobold in the next room. Luckily, Owlbear Rodeo has the fog tool, which you can use to draw little squares of fog, or draw areas of fog like that. Don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. Or you can even draw it like this to get more complicated areas in. And while to you it looks like this, you can hit this little button right here to see what it would look like for your players. And as you can see, they can't see what's behind the fog of war. So one thing that some GMs might miss in Owlbear Rodeo is the tracking of initiative. Because this is such a simple, bare bones app, it doesn't have that. But in my opinion, that can be even more easily done in other apps. For example, I really like this tracker at dm.tools/tracker. So this makes it really easy for you to keep track of everything as a GM. So you can put in their hit points, you can put in their AC, you can put in their name, and you can put in their initiative, and it'll even roll it for you. So this, we got a 19 for initiative. And it'll make it easy for you to subtract the hit points and AC of your monsters. So if the fighter deals 5 damage, you can just put 5 in there and hit minus. And it'll also sort for you, and even comes with preloaded statistics. Look at that. Isn't that great? Then you can sort, and it'll get it all in initiative order for you. If you want to move on to the next initiative, you can just hit next. This is why I really like this app. So if you have trouble keeping track of initiative, or just want a way to make it easier and simpler, this is what I would suggest. Between Owlbear Rodeo and the initiative tracker, you have everything that you need to run an effective encounter online or in person. Honestly, I've begun to use these in person as well as online because it just allows me to make a cool battle map so much easier than if I had to draw it out myself. Owlbear Rodeo even comes with a built-in dice roller. So as you can see, it has all of these dice right here. You can roll a d20 and you can roll a bunch of d6s at once, because you're a wizard, and you're casting Fireball every turn. One thing to keep in mind about Owlbear Rodeo, though, is that, as you can see, you didn't need to make an account, which is cool, but it can also be a bit of a flaw, because it means your data isn't saved online. Instead, it's saved in your web cache, which means that when you come back to it, it'll still be there. As you can see, if I go in here and open up another instance of the app, the game still has all the stuff that I've added to it, but that stuff is essentially stored on your hard drive, so I would recommend backing it up, which you can do here with the import and export data button. So how do you share this game with your players? This is actually dead simple. All you do, you go up here, copy the link, and you send it to your players. They'll go in here and they'll be able to access it. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more tutorials and tips, make sure to check out my next video here. If you enjoyed, please remember to like and subscribe. I will appreciate it very, very much. And I will see you all next time.